Okay, honey, going to the range. Love you.
All right, guys, let's get ready to go have a fun day at the range. SIG P365, let's get you here in your nice little box, nice and padded, so nothing happens to you. And we'll put you down here so that you're nice and safe. M&P Shield 380, let's get you in your nice Smith & Wesson bag here. Get you packed away nicely in the back. And the AR-15, we don't want to have anything happen to you because you're fragile and delicate. We'll get you in your case here, and not only that, we're gonna put you up on the seat and put the seatbelt on because safety first, and seatbelts save lives. High point 9mm.
Okay, let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just picked up this High Point C9 9mm from my local pawn shop, and we're gonna see the first shots out of it that I have shot. I have no idea how many this has had in it before, but we're gonna get right at it, put on the eye and ear protection, and see how this thing does, because I have never even held one of these up until today. So let's get right at it. So far, very chunky, and it didn't even want to feed the first one. But here goes nothing. Jammed immediately, so that's awesome. Okay, something else is wrong with it. All right, we got a hit. I don't know if it actually fed the next one. There we go. Jammed again. And I think that these things have an issue with the feed ramp not feeding these very well, but we'll get back at it. Good Lord, this thing is not doing well. All right, and it held back open. So, first few shots, not terribly great, to be perfectly honest with you. But, you know, this is not a new gun. This is a pawn shop gun. And it's just something that I wanted to pick up to screw around with. And the real reason that I got this is I want to just beat the crap out of it. Do the old torture test video on it. See what's going on. But before I did that, I sat there and I thought, hey, maybe I ought to just check this thing out. See if it is any good at all, and make a video about that. Because what I found with these high point guns is they sort of have the same type of fan base as a Glock. We're idiots. No, I'm just kidding. Don't unsubscribe. Don't leave me hate comments, or do, because it always helps the videos out in the YouTube algorithm. I have a Glock 23. I love it. It's one of my favorite firearms, but a lot of people really don't like Glocks. It seems like there is either you love it or you hate it. I found the same thing to be the case with these high points. Either people really hate them, and a lot of folks that hate them haven't ever held one, haven't ever shot one. They just, you know, see it as a cheap gun and just don't like it. And then there's other people that have a pretty good following with these and have, you know, a lot of good things to say about them, especially the price point. And that is really the selling point for these high points. Now, I picked this one up from the pawn shop because I wanted to get it as cheap as possible, and because I just wanted to buy a pawn shop gun. I have never done that before, so I went down and I picked this one up. And this particular one is the model C9, and it comes with these really cool faux carbon fiber grips, and it looks like it's got that ghost, I think they call it a ghost sight on the back of it. It actually sort of is kind of hard to sight with this just because the way it blocks your sight line. Different than the 3-dot sights that are typically on it, is, you know, with my first couple shots I had on this. But the big selling point for this gun is the price. You can get this for under $200 before taxes and FFL and transfer fees and such like that. But you can't even buy a cart of groceries in 2023, or even 2 tanks of diesel fuel for less than $200. So that is the big selling point on this. The other things that I actually really like about this gun is that it's made in America. It is made in Ohio, in Mansfield, Ohio, and that has a lot to do with how this gun is made, how it's produced. This is actually not steel, some sort of zinc oxide stuff. It's cast, it's not pretty. Nothing about this gun is pretty at all. You can see if it zooms in on there, the machining in here is done with like 80 grit sandpaper. It's pretty awful, but they utilized the local auto manufacturers in their ability to cast parts to build this instead of having a like a forged slide, a forged nice steel machine thing, and basically being the cost is the #1 item on this. Now, there is not a lot great to say about this particular gun. It is chunky, it is ugly, it is a blowback gun, so there is a lot of mass on this because they didn't want to put a giant spring in it to keep this closed when you're firing and to reset the action every time it goes. So it is very chunky. When you pull it back to first fire it, where you come back and it finally sets the hammer is quite a clunk. It's not very smooth like any of the other guns that we had in the intro. Those are very smooth. When you go to depress the trigger, it is extremely, let's see if I can get it on this side. It is extremely mushy, and when it finally breaks, it does break cleanly, but then the trigger reset is also mushy. There's not a lot of great things to say about the operation of this gun other than it is an under $200 gun. And I mean, what are you going to say about anything that's under $200? Every other one of my pistols has been $400 to $600, so under $200 for self-defense. If you can get it to fire reliably, which we're going to try to work on, is not such a bad thing. All right, let's give it another mag. See if putting a few through loosened it up at all. Like I said, I have no idea how many shots have been through this gun. And another thing, it's not able to be field stripped unless you all... Boy, this thing is hard to operate. Unless you can get in here and put a punch and punch this roll pin out. Unlike many other guns, almost any other gun that can do toolless field strips. Not the case with this. That's one of the major negatives of this, so I just went ahead and soaked it down and break free, and you can see it's dripping all over the front there, so we'll see how it goes. I found, too, that when you put this mag in, if you push it in, it'll a lot of times get hung up, like right here. I don't know why that is, but if you kind of got to just jiggle it in, pop it in, and then the slide release is the same. You can't see it on that side. The slide release is the same as the safety, and occasionally, what'll happen is you'll be shooting it, safety on, safety off. You'll kind of creep up to there, and then it won't fire. And it's really easy to do that when you're holding the pistol to accidentally nudge the safety up, and then it won't fire. So I think that's kind of, especially if you're going to use this for self-defense, which I sort of don't recommend because it's huge and would print real bad on you and hasn't seemed to be real reliable so far. That could be a major thing. But let's see if we can get a mag out of this thing without it jamming with that feed ramp issue. See, I just did it. I pushed, just holding on to this thing. I ended up pushing the safety up just slightly with my thumb. There you have it. They went through that mag pretty well. I mean, it wasn't a terrible thing. Let me light up another one. We'll see if how fast it can rapid fire. You see, it's just like it's clunky. It doesn't work well. Oh, it's everything that I thought that it would be. Here we go. This thing is empty, and the best part about this gun, as heavy as it is, if you're in a gun battle, and you're blazing, you're pow, 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 and there's no cameraman behind here, okay? So enough with the flagging the cameraman comments, or leave them, like I said, helps out this video in the YouTube algorithm. The best thing is you can just take this gun, grip it, and just throw it at somebody. So it's not, and I should probably have watched where that went, but we'll find it here in a minute. And if you guys like this, be sure to subscribe down below. Hit that like button for me. I don't want you guys to miss anything, especially when we torture test that thing. I think that we're going to pack the barrel full of a bunch of different stuff. We're going to run over it with my Super Duty. We're going to try to fire it while it's on fire, fire it underwater, and just see how durable this thing is, because I know that there's been a lot of torture test videos out there, but now that I have one of my own, we're going to see exactly what it can put up with. And another thing that we might end up checking out is that these High Points from High Point have a lifetime, no questions asked warranty. If anything goes wrong with them, they apparently will fix them. So we might try to put that to the test. I'll be straight up with them whenever I send it out for warranty, and to tell them exactly what we've done and just see what happens with that. So guys, I appreciate you guys watching today. Be sure to subscribe, like button, and I'll see you in the next one.